Hey, what's up guys? It's Fruity and welcome back to yet another series that I'm doing on this channel. It is time for something completely different. Up until this point I've mostly been doing Crash stuff. It's time for some Mega Man. But before we jump right into this, the original Mega Man, the first game in the series, came out in 1987. I thought I should give a little backstory as to why I'm doing this now, because you see, the 30th of September is my second anniversary of being a fan of Mega Man. On the 30th of September 2014, I played this game for the first time. I also played Mega Man 2 for the first time, because I got both games on the Virtual Console for Wii U. So yeah, a little bit of backstory. I just, reminisce a bit. I think it was in April 2014 that I first heard of Mega Man. I can't believe I'd never heard of him, like, before that, or at least I had, but never actually took notice, like, never, like, put it into my memory that he was a thing, because I don't remember ever having heard of him before April 2014, which was when I became a fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd. I first discovered his videos. I hadn't heard of him either before then, which is probably a little less shocking, but, he's still a pretty popular guy, pretty hilarious guy, so, and he had a few Mega Man clips in some of his episodes, like, in his Silver Surfer episode particularly. I remember there being quite a lot, and I was like, ooh, what's this Mega Man? This looks interesting. And then I, like, went looking for some music from the series, because I heard it was supposed to have really good music, and I heard the Dr. Wily Stage 1-2 theme from Mega Man 2, and I was like, damn, this is good, and I listened to it so freaking much, alongside some other classic 80s, early 90s sort of game music, like the Mario themes and stuff, because of course I was interested in all that stuff since I was watching Angry Video Game Nerd. And then come September 2014, I saw, oh, hey, what, this is on the Virtual Console? I didn't even know how. I was just like on the wiki page looking at what games Nintendo released in the Virtual Console, and Mega Man was there, and I'm like, alright, gonna play it. So I got Mega Man 1 and 2, and Castlevania, I believe. But while I very quickly, pretty much instantly, became a huge fan of Mega Man, not so much with Castlevania. That I still haven't beaten that game, actually. it's it's an alright game. It's sort of a bit finicky to control, though, which is the main problem I have with it. Not so with Mega Man. And here we are to commemorate 2 years since I played the game. We're on the title screen. Pretty basic title screen. Things become a little more interesting in later games in the series, but this is the very first game. I'm going to be doing a special challenge run where I only use the rolling cutter to beat the game, which is one of the 6 weapons you get by beating the Robot Masters of the game, which I will reveal now by pressing start. So here we are on the stage select screen. This is a Mega Man staple. Whenever you head into the game, or at least it's a staple of classic Mega Man, whenever you go into the game, you'll have this selection of Robot Masters, that's what they're called, and every Robot Master is themed around some sort of weapon. Sometimes it's like one of the classical elements, like fire, but sometimes it's slightly more unusual, like Gutsman here. And then they'll have man after the name. There's always man, like every bloody character in this series has man at the end of the name, except the human characters, but there's only like a few human characters in the series, because all these guys are robots. Mega Man is too. The origin story of Mega Man, I'll sum it up really briefly. He was built by Dr. Light as a housekeeping robot. His original name was Rock, and he was a lab assistant, and his original name was Rock, and he also had a sister robot called Roll, Rock and Roll, and they were just domestic robots. But he also built these 6 Robot Masters, who were to work on various industrial tasks, and all these robots are pretty much sentient, like, to my knowledge, although their personalities are fairly basic. I think Mega Man's probably got the most complicated personality. But then Dr. Light's jealous colleague, Dr. Wily, kidnapped all 6 of these robots and reprogrammed them for evil. And that's why we have to fight them now in this game. However, he didn't think Rock and Roll were worth kidnapping. He thought they were useless domestic robots, so yeah, he left them behind, and Rock, having a strong sense of justice, to quote the actual line, he volunteered to be upgraded into a crime-fighting robot and dubbed Mega Man as his new name. So Mega Man and Roll obviously doesn't work quite as well as Rock and Roll does, but whatever. So the rolling cutter is Cutman's weapon, because you get a weapon every time you defeat one of these bosses. That's another staple of the series. And so each one of these bosses is weak to one of the weapons of the other bosses. So, you know, a bit of a spoiler, but for instance, Cutman is weak to Gutsman, because Gutsman is really strong and throws rocks, and Cutman is based around scissors. Rock beats scissors, the classic rock, paper, scissors. But that's just what it is. Each boss is weak to the weapon of one of these other bosses. So once you figure out the weakness order, it becomes the ideal way of playing through the game. You just have to find a boss you can easily beat with Mega Man's default weapon, the Mega Buster, which is an arm cannon, actually. Pretty freaking awesome. Mega Man's got a freaking cannon built into his arm. It shoots plasma blasts and stuff. I love this series. Literally the first time I played this game, I was instantly in love, pretty much. I was like, oh my god, this is so good. What have I been missing out on my entire life? Yeah, just everything about it I love, basically. So, I'll need to fight Cutman first in order to get the rolling cutter, so I can do this special challenge run where I try to beat the whole game using only that weapon. And then you can replay, once you beat a stage, one of these 6 stages, you can replay it, including the boss. So I'm going to go off and fight Cutman off camera, and then I'll be able to do his stage again using his weapon. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Alright my friends, I'm back here on the stage select screen. I defeated Cutman off camera, and as you can see his background is blacked out now, signifying that he's been defeated. But you can play his stage again as much as you want, and he'll be there at the end of the stage every time. Which is exactly what I'm going to do, because Cutman was the first Robot Master I beat in this game when I first played it. He was not actually the first stage I tried though, Iceman was. Now, having heard these games are supposed to have fantastic music, and having listened to the Dr. Wily Stage 1 theme from Mega Man 2, which is like the most famous Mega Man music in the whole franchise, and probably the most popular, but yeah, that's why it's so famous. I was pretty disappointed hearing Iceman's theme. I didn't like it too much, and to this day, I like it more than I did then, but it's still one of the lesser pieces of music of the game, in my opinion. Still good though, still good. But definitely a really terrible stage to pick first. I picked it because he looks really small and scrawny and easy, but no, his stage is like the hardest one, and he's the hardest boss, so yep, they fool you, don't they, with this game design. Cutman is a bit of a better choice, and that's exactly where I'm going to start, because it is pretty much the first stage of the series. Cutman is the first Robot Master in the numerical order. All these Robot Masters have a number assigned to them, and Cutman is the first one. He's Robot number 3, Mega Man and Roll being 1 and 2, of course. So let's head right in. Prepare your ears for the classic stage start music in Mega Man. Get used to hearing that music. There are tons of variations of it throughout the Mega Man games. So here it is. This is the pause menu, which acts as your weapons menu, and it gives me the rolling cutter. Now, you see that bar? Well, there's 2 bars in the top left there. The yellow bar, that's my health. So that's, well, different enemies do different amounts of damage. Oh, I hit that guy, cool. And the bar next to it, the grey one, is my weapon. So here's the Mega Buster, the arm cannon, just a typical, almost like pea shooter shot, pretty effective against enemies, and it has infinite ammo. But if we go here, the rolling cutter, an ammo bar appears. However, I have inputted a Game Genie code into my NES emulator, which gives me infinite ammo. So this way I can always be using the rolling cutter and never run out of ammo and have to cheat by switching back to the Mega Buster. So we're gonna try and beat this bad boy using only this weapon, which boomerangs back to you after you fire it out. These enemies are called Bladers, I think, and yep, they're proving to be a bit harder with this. Jeez. Okay, get that. Oh, I go down in 1 hit. Cool, I like that. I can't remember. I think they're called Beaks, I think, those turret enemies. So yeah, Cutman stage, pretty much the first stage in the franchise, and the first one I beat in this game. But incidentally, Cutman was not the first Robot Master I beat in Mega Man. Metal Man actually was in Mega Man 2, because I played both games pretty much at the same time. I gave Mega Man 1 a try, couldn't beat any stage. Gave Mega Man 2 a try, beat Metal Man. So, yep. I actually beat Mega Man 2 before I beat this game. I actually beat both Mega Man 2 and 3 before I beat this game, and then I beat this game just before I beat Mega Man 4, because this is a tough game. A lot of people say it's the hardest Mega Man game. I disagree with that, but it is a very unforgiving game. And you have these kinds of things which shoot scissors out, but they're pretty easy to get past. So. And these guys are called fleas. And they just sort of jump around a lot. They're pretty random as to how far they jump. So Cutman stage, yeah, it's pretty fun. It's quite a simple stage. It's an easy stage to start if you are picking up this game for the first time. The graphics are a little bland. You got your plain blue sky. It's sort of an oddly green shaped, like, I believe this is supposed to be a warehouse. Yeah, very green for some reason. With some grey backdrop there to indicate that I guess this warehouse is like half destroyed because half the wall in the background isn't there. These enemies, they're called Adhering Susies, which is a funny enough name in of itself, but they're also known as octopus batteries, which is even funnier. They're pretty easy to dodge if you just take your time, be patient, because they don't actively try to hurt you. And then we got some more bladers coming up here, and yeah, so far this isn't proving too bad. If you're curious as to why I picked the rolling cutter as the weapon to do the whole game with, as opposed to any of the other 5 weapons of the game, it's because 2 of the weapons are really powerful, and I think it would be like even easier to beat the game just using those 2 weapons than if I just did Mega Buster only. And one other weapon doesn't damage most enemies, and then the other 2 weapons just completely suck and would just be awful. So I think this is like a good moderately powerful weapon to try and beat the whole game with. And this is Big Eye. He's a jerk. It's completely random. Oh, completely random how high he jumps. So whether or not you get hit by him is pretty much RNG. Although there are, if you have good reaction times, you can. Oh, jeez. Okay, I couldn't kill him in time. If you have good reaction time, you could probably react to how high he jumps. But anyway, that was the boss gate. We're now in the boss corridor. Mega Man 1 is unique in that it actually has enemies in the corridors leading up to bosses. They removed that in later games and just make it like a bit of a breathing space for you. So here we are, approaching Cutman. Alright. Oh, I should bring up, I do love the music in Cutman stage. If you've been listening to it, it's definitely one of the best tracks of the game. I feel like Mega Man 1 has like about 4 pieces of music that are like all the best music in the game. Like, it's really hard to choose between the 4 of them as to what the best is. But anyways, here we go. So the door closes on us and there's Cutman. Let's see. Oh jeez, it only does 1 damage. That's not good. Because in Mega Buster does 3 damage against him. Mega Buster is actually really powerful against Cutman. Oh dear, he's jumping around a lot. Just need to dodge. And this is going to be harder than I thought it might. Oh, that was bad dodging on my part. Cutman is a bit of a... Oh, I died. Cutman, yeah, he's a bit of a weird boss. He's actually pretty easy, because he takes a lot of damage from the Mega Buster, like I said. And, ooh, let me switch weapons. And you can lock him into a pattern quite easily, but at the same time, he does like to spaz out a bit, jumping around all over the place if you don't keep him under control. So let's give it another crack, and geez, this might be harder than I thought it was going to be. Don't underestimate Cutman, I guess, if you're going to try and use his own weapon against him. It's a cutter versus a cutter. Yeah, because Cutman, he's doing 4 damage to me with every shot. So I essentially have to hit him four times as many hits. Oh jeez, and I'm not doing great, am I? Oh boy. Oh jeez, because you see the cutter, once it hits the wall, it bounces back. Like that. And I'm having real hard... Oh my god, this is actually really hard. I'm not kidding. Do not try and fight Cutman with his own weapon, okay? Don't try and do it. It's not healthy. This might be like one of the hardest bosses right here, because I don't think too many of the other bosses are going to be too hard, really. There we go. Alright, we've got 1 more life. I think this is our last life right now, and then it's game over. If you game over Mega Man games, you just have to replay the stage. It just takes you back to the start of the stage. Or you can go back to the stage select if you want to try a different stage. In that regard, it's actually more forgiving than a lot of other 80s games, because there are a lot of 80s games where if you game over, you have to start from the beginning of the entire game, which is incredibly cruel. Super Mario Bros, please. At least there's a code in Super Mario Bros that you can do to start from the world you game overed in. I didn't know about that for a long time, and I was pretty much filled with rage when I found out about it. See how I'm sort of stun locking Cutman? This is what I'm talking about when I say he's not that hard, but at the same time, he can break out of it quite easily. And then jump around a lot like that. Oh jeez, almost got hit. Boy, I do not like... Oh, did you have to jump up there? Oh, and you had to jump on my head too, didn't you? I nearly got him half dead, and then I died. Hey, well, I'm improving at least. Oh, I got another life, apparently. Did I pick up one during the stage? I guess I must have, but now we're on our last life, and this is a bit scary, I must say. Oh, and that's another way of dodging those guys. You run past the first shot they shoot out, and then stop briefly during the second one. That only works if they're on the roof, though, of course. Rightio, let's see. How well can I do? Oh, if you didn't jump up there, it's... What makes it tricky is coordinating both jumping to dodge him and to dodge his blade. That's what makes it hard. If it was just one of the two, then it would be easier. Oh, I think I've got him... Oh, I almost had him locked in a pattern there. I almost had him locked in a pattern of mediocrity. Because he is a pretty mediocre boss. Cutman is known for being easy, but obviously under these rules, it's a bit harder, isn't it? Oh, damn it, I liked that position. That position worked really well for me. Now I can't take any more hits. Oh, now I'm dead. Game over. Damn it. Well, this is what the game over screen looks like. You continue, which means start from the beginning of the stage again, or go back to the stage select. And I'm going to continue. Well then, that was, pretty awful. I think I'll, meet you guys back at Cutman. Alright, we're back here with the big eye enemy. Oh, and he did a high jump that time. See, sometimes you just get lucky, sometimes you don't. And I'm not going to be able to kill him. He actually gives you a lot of points if you kill him. The points in this game are pretty much useless. This was at a time when arcade games were still a pretty big thing, so they put points in the game for that. But the game doesn't even record high scores or anything, so really points are pointless, ironically enough. And they don't give you lives or anything, they're literally just there for bragging rights, and since the game doesn't save high scores, like, you can't even prove, like, I mean, I don't know, I guess if you took a photo of your screen, but yeah, they're pretty pointless, and that's why they're removed in Mega Man 2 onwards. This is the only game with a point system in the series. Come on, Cutman, work with me here, work with me. Oh, this is good, I like this. No, damn it, I didn't hit him. I had him locked. Oh, and you can hit bosses twice with the rolling cutter if you hit him early in the cycle and then late in it. Which I did just a little bit before. Oh, come on, man, come on. Yeah, just stay down there, I like this. No, you can't jump if you're in the middle of firing the rolling cutter, so that makes it harder. Do not jump up here, mate. Do not jump up here, I don't need that. Don't need that in my life. Okay, this is working very well. Just need to keep it up. No, get down, get down! Oh, for goodness sake. It was close, it was real close. Jeez. I wasn't far off. I'll get him this time. Oh, well that's not a good omen. Yeah, health and life drops are a fair bit rarer in this game than they are in later games in the series. That's another reason why you might consider it the hardest Mega Man game. But, I don't. There is a few really hard moments in the game, but once you get used to them, you know, it's not so bad. It's really just those few really hard moments which give this game its sort of legendary difficulty. By that I mean it's sort of, well, the stuff that's like talked about a lot in outside of the main fandom. Like, if you're a real big fan of the series, you probably won't find Mega Man 1 that hard, because you've played it a lot and you've got used to the few hard parts. But if you're just playing this game for the first time, there are a few parts of this game which will drive you bonkers. Like, they'll just absolutely just destroy you in frustration. Cutman stage is not one of them, but obviously things aren't easy if I'm trying to use a weapon that does not work against him at all. Oh, I was so close that time. He had 5 bars of health left. Ugh. I'm getting closer. I can feel it. I can feel it. This could be the successful attempt, but I'm on 0 lives again, so if I die, well, I'm screwed. I know I can do it. I can feel it in my bones. let's go. Just gotta stun lock him again. No, get down there, mister. You're not allowed up to this upper section of the boss fight chamber. No scissor head guys allowed. No guys with scissors on their head allowed. I love how cartoony Cutman's design is. Like, a lot of the Robot Masters are like that, but I feel like Cutman is one of, like, the really cartoony ones, because he's just like a guy with a pair of scissors on his head. I love it. He's, probably my favorite Robot Master in Mega Man 1. Either him or Elecman. I feel like Elecman has just maybe a little better personality, but I feel like maybe I like Cutman's design more. I think Iceman has both good design and personality, but I don't know if either of them are quite enough to make him the best. Oh jeez, this is not good. I can't take any more hits. But I have found a pattern that works. Come on, one more hit. Oh yeah! See, this is what I love about doing new challenges. You can just, like, figure out these cool new patterns you never knew about before. And that was I did have a pattern there by the end. I had a strategy of keeping him down there. It was very nice. And we get clear points for defeating Cutman. Basically, anytime you select a boss, it'll pick a random amount of points between 50 and 100,000. But they're all increments of 10,000. And, yeah, again, points are meaningless, so it doesn't really matter. But of course, it's always really great swag if you get the 100,000 point. Get all that loot, mate. All that loot. Alright, we'll do Gutsman next. Going in numerical order, we go from 003 Cutman to 004 Gutsman, the second Robot Master. Cutman and Gutsman are pretty much like two of the most classic Robot Masters in the series. You know, two of the most famous ones. And Gutsman's stage is a quarry, because he is a rock-lifting robot. He's really strong. That's where his name Gutsman comes from. Because, you know, all strong people have lots of guts, apparently. They're really tough. Come on. So, oh, these enemies, they're called Mets. They appear in, like, every Mega Man game. They're like a staple to the series, basically. And they start here, humbly, in Gutsman's stage. Now, this is the part of the level that drives everyone insane. This is one of those few parts of the game that will drive you nuts the first time you play it, and one of those few reasons why so many people consider it so hard. But once you get used to it, it's not so bad. You just have to make sure you jump early, because these things drop you pretty much instantly when they fall. And Mega Man falls like an absolute rock. Get it? Because his true name's Rock. Because, yeah, when you fall off objects in this game, because this isn't, like, this green platform isn't like a proper solid floor. It's an object, like an enemy. If you fall off an object in this game, you fall at, like, terminal velocity. Like, you, like, literally just drop instantly into the pit below. Like, there's, like, no time at all, and it's pretty nuts. But, yeah, that's, again, sort of part of the glitchy nature of this game. This is the glitchiest Mega Man game, which you'd probably expect being the first one. And this isn't doing much damage to these guys. Come on, mate. But there's some cool glitches you can do in this game, which are quite fun. Which I don't know, I'll probably show off eventually. It's really not working. One thing I appreciate about this stage is it's set at night. There aren't many Mega Man stages set at night. It's pretty cool. I don't even know. It's sort of like sunset, dusk. It's like an almost purple sky. Like, it's still blue, I think, but it's really bordering on purple. Another reason why I picked this stage, besides just going in order, is this video has already been pretty long, but this is actually the shortest of the 6 Robot Master stages. Gutsman stage is not long at all. It's quite brief. We're already more than halfway through. But I'm not doing a very good job at surviving, am I? I've got like 1 hit left. Luckily, there's a little bit of health to pick up down here. Oh, a lot of health, actually. Looks like I was mistaken. Oh no, fall. I could have gotten a 1-up, possibly. I don't go down the right side. Those spikes there, they are insta-death. That is another common staple to the series. There are spikes in every Mega Man game, and in every Mega Man game, there are instant death, no matter how much health you have. Yep. This super fighting robot, his one weakness, death spikes. Apparently a robot made of metal can't, you know, tolerate spikes. Very odd weakness, but a funny one because of how odd it is. Come on, man. I just need to kill this thing. Damn it, I can't get the timing right. Probably gonna die to Gutsman anyway, and it's just gonna put me back before this guy. But I'm on 0 lives, great. So I can't actually kill myself. I should have just game overed at the start of the stage. I don't know. I could try to beat the Gutsman without getting hit, but I'm probably gonna game over instead. Come on, man. Come on. Well, Gutsman's theme is one of the lesser themes of the game. It's not one of those 4 themes I say is hard to pick between for the best music. Because it's quite short and quite simple, the music for this level, but it has a pretty cool sort of serious vibe to it. And it's pretty catchy. So, not dissing it at all. Come on. Come on, just damn it, why is this so hard? I don't understand. Oh my god, come on. Come on. Wait, okay, I've got a new idea. There we go, you gotta fake him out. Okay, wait, I got this. No. There we go. Oh, and I got a little extra health. I don't think that matters. I think he'll one-hit me anyway. But anyway, here's Gutsman. Oh boy, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. Gutsman can be a little bit random on how on how difficult he is, and I screwed up at the very beginning. Oh god. I'll meet you guys back at Gutsman. I didn't point this out before, but the sound these platforms make is quite loud and obnoxious. However, if you pause the game, the sound stops. No idea why that glitch works, but it does apparently, and it's very nice for my ears. Oh, seriously? Oh, come on, man. That's just brutal. Ah, Big Eye gave me a short hop. The RNG, man, it's not working in my favor, is it? Well, at least we're nearly back at Gutsman. Okay, wait, let's try this strategy again. There we go, okay. So shoot out, then run forward. Okay, go, there we go. Okay. Shoot out, run forward. Yes, you see? Again, another thing I'm loving about doing this challenge run where I have to try and beat the game using only one weapon is you learn, like, a lot of the strategies for using the weapons, because to be honest, most of the time I just stick with the Mega Buster by default. You know, I typically don't really work with the weapons very much. But, ooh, is Gutsman only taking 1 damage? I thought he would take 2. I feel like I remember him taking 2 to this weapon one time I tried it on him. Apparently not, and I'm getting myself completely screwed here. Come on, man. Ah, death becomes him. Alright, I feel I can do it. I just gotta strategize a bit again. Just gotta try and keep the high ground, I think, and hopefully Gutsman keeps away from me, because as you can see, he shakes the ground every time he jumps. No, he got me. If you're in the air when he hits the ground, you won't get stunned, but it's not easy to always time that. Oh, thank goodness he didn't jump right on top of me. That would have been bad, wouldn't it? Ah, come on, I need a double hit with this. Double hit. No, that's not gonna double hit. He won't always hit you with the rocks, of course, even if you're stunned. Often you have enough time to escape from the rock, even if he stuns you, like there. As long as it's far enough away. Damn, man, I didn't realize the first 2 bosses were going to be this challenging already. I don't think things are going to be quite as hard going ahead with some of the other bosses. I think a couple of them take more than 1 damage to the rolling cutter, at least. But this is easier than Cutman for sure, just because Gutsman is a bit less of a spaz. Like, he's quite random, like, as to whether or not he approaches you when you don't want him to approach you. You want him to keep his distance. But he's just much less of a spaz than Cutman is, so as much as I'd say under typical circumstances he's harder than Cutman, under special circumstances such as these, where you can't take him down quickly or lock him into a pattern, then Cutman is definitely the harder Robot Master than Gutsman. But I think we'll wrap things up there for this episode. We're taking out 2 out of the 6 Robot Masters. Next time I'll do Iceman and Bombman. Won't that be exciting, considering Iceman is the hardest stage out of the 6? Oh well, I guess we'll have to see how I fare next time. This has been a really enjoyable episode, a really enjoyable celebration of 2 years of playing Mega Man. I actually can't believe it's been 2 years. It's just insane to think about, but I can't keep just like blowing my mind with the fact that it's been 2 years already. I need to stop the episode. I'll catch you guys in part 2. This is Fruity signing out.